Yeah, making promises you won't commit to. Did you love me or love potential? Issues is what it turned into. It's all said and done, so I'm done reminiscing on moments that could have been fundamental. Calling me crazy was an understatement. Yeah, that's no debating. Did what I did because for you I would've took the cases. Yeah, that's trial and error. Standard was high as ever. Now I never settle, I'm in search of finding better. Yeah, I gotta save my word. Exhausted all my energy to make it work. Barely knew yourself, I guess that made it worse. Niggas broke your heart, I tried to break the curse. Don't take it personal, cause I needed the practice. Learning mine and my business, and not seeking reaction. I need better decisions, I remember my status. I guess it all makes sense then, I guess I understand it, yeah. This the closure I needed. Study mistakes so in the future I wouldn't repeat it. Hitting your ex up, I bet that you ready to see him. You live in reverse, planted seeds and then when it soiled the dirt. Summer was playing games, you was enjoying them first. Things change, that's how the seasons work. That's why we never keep in touch. I wanted shit to spring with us, but you pray for our fall. All the winter bells kept ringing for me to evolve. Moving on, let's address something that actually matters. Entering chapters of my life where success is involved. It's never jaded, the people just wanna hear it faster. Making moves, I won't descend, I just climb up the ladder. I tend to write love stories that I can never finish. Like Final Fantasy, I never completed a mission. That's the way I'm living. Got this weight off my shoulders, now aiming with precision. Love is patient, but patient come with certain conditions. Certain positions pushing me all the way to my limit. I never meant to do this. God knows I'm only human. There's some things.
Oh man, I was yeah. Hey everybody, how y'all doing? Mayberry, how you doing? You look nice tonight. You look happy to be here. Professor, you look like you just don't know the rules of how we do things here with your camera and everything, but I'm going to move on from that. And Shannon's in the car. So this is how we begin our night, and we have a guest. Yeah, just remove yourself. Charles Eddington, how you doing, sir?
What's going on? How y'all feeling?
I would like to apologize. This is not normally the way that we operate.
It's all good.
Shannon got her Dwayne Wade's on. I just don't know what is happening. As a unit, we are just not looking right now. Like we're not moving correctly. We all might as well just go get on some milk crates and walk up and down real quick. I don't know what's going on.
We're not doing that. We ain't doing that.
God dang. Well, we definitely happy to have you here, brother. I should have done this a long time ago, but
It's all good.
I have been watching you move the way you move, and we are happy we can make this happen tonight. So for those you don't know, Charles is a real estate investor, family man, father, husband, all around good guy. I've known him for some years. How we met and how we know each other now is a funny story. And but from the first time I met him, like he was always a good dude, like stand-up guy, and I've never heard anybody say anything bad. And if they do, you got to talk to me. Everybody, what's up, brother Nance, Linnea, NJ Rich? How are y'all doing tonight? So we're gonna get into it. There's a lot going on. We're gonna talk to Charles. I'm trying not to call you Chuck. We're gonna talk to Charles about some different things because real estate has always been definitely something high on my end, on my list. I've beaten Shannon in the head about it for a long time, and yeah, I definitely want to talk about a lot of things. But before we get started, as I said, what is wrong with y'all? Y'all got on me for getting my little COVID shot and all that, and now here y'all go running up and down milk crates. So who really looks like a buffoon right now? Like I went and took a chance on the shot, and you colors is running up and down milk crates and calling it a challenge. Like, what is the prize? Like, what are we trying to win as a people right now? Like, I don't understand. Like,
They're your cousins, Joe. What's your cousins? No pun intended.
And I can't even watch.
Crazy.
Man, like the falls.
That's awesome.
I know I got a compilation video of my favorite ones, right? Oh, I do. I got a nice little compilation video of my favorite ones. So we definitely gonna get into that. Just trying to pull up some of my notes right now, but the professor had me sidetracked with some other things we were trying to fix behind the scene that we weren't able to. But anybody that's gone to our page recently, we got a link tree up now on the page, and you can go to any of our pages, hit the link tree, and it'll take you to where you can buy Cooley and the Gang merch. You can go to our Facebook page. I like saying merch. And it'll just connect you to a bunch of different things that we have going on. There's an option on there to watch now. It may give you an error message, but if you hit watch now, you'll just have to hit it again, and then it'll take you directly to the live video. So we're gonna run through some real quick news. Miriam Abdul-Rab. Did y'all hear about that story this week? It was the young man. That's the young lady who was killed. But her boyfriend watched her get abducted and kidnapped from in front of his house, and then police found her body later, where she was shot and killed.
Wait a minute. Wait. No. Wait.
Don't worry, I got video.
Okay.
Yeah, we got video. All right, so that's
Wow.
right. That's what I said. Wait a minute. Danny, you can mess with my video.
Won't blame it on somebody else.
I know you need me sitting right there to your right. You're right? Yeah.
There's somebody just left with my girlfriend.
For the first time, we're hearing the panicked 911 call as Miriam Abdul-Rab is kidnapped from the front yard of a Southeast Atlanta home. On the phone, Jerry Antoine, an Atlanta musician who says Abdul-Rab is his girlfriend. He posted these pictures of the two of them together on his Instagram story. Antoine tells the dispatcher he had just spoken to Miriam moments before, and she was on her way to his home on Burrow Street.
Oh my God. Bro, I just watched her get kidnapped from in front of my house. What the Oh my God.
She had a gun pointed to her?
Yes, I watched it all through my window in my front yard. He had a gun to her, and he forced her into a car. He had on a security shirt.
But just 4 hours after she was reported kidnapped, a man walking his dog found Miriam's body on Lake Avenue.
Lord Jesus. I see a Caucasian woman face down.
He called 911 too.
Lord, this is somebody's baby.
Okay, and please tell me, why does she look dead?
She is face down. Her face, her nostrils and mouth are directly into the ground.
Exactly.
Oh, yes, she's dead. Oh, my gosh. I see blood around her upper body and arms.
Atlanta police believe DeMarcus Brinkley killed Miriam Abdul-Rab. Investigators taking out arrest warrants for murder, aggravated assault, kidnapping, false imprisonment, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, and possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony.
Wow.
Wait a minute. Okay. Wait a minute. I just
Hold up, you breaking up.
before you jump
So
into
he
it.
watched. He watched from the window as his girlfriend was abducted from in front of his house. That must be something new. It must come along with the tight jeans. I don't know. What, like, that's crazy. Like, I couldn't believe it when I saw it. I was like, and he, like, I don't know. Do you only sacrifice yourself for a wife? Like, I don't know what the rules of engagement are like in a situation like that. Like, and he's a rapper.
So I mean, I know it's gonna sound a little messed up, but it almost kind of makes sense. I mean, just because he rap don't mean he in the streets, and it don't mean that he brave either. I mean, he was afraid, and fight or flight? He might have been in one of those situations where he just didn't know what else to do. Only thing he could do is call the police.
Right.
Shit, he don't want them to come get him. He might yell out the window and they come get him.
That's true.
So, I mean, it's one of those scenarios where it's kind of hard to say, how he feels about it or what he could have done. Because, again, a lot of these dudes really not street guys. They just rap like they in the streets, and they really not.
But is it even street just to kind of I don't know. Like you could have been. It's something more you could have been able to do. Like you could have threw the toaster out the door or something. Like
You
I don't
sound too calm to me.
Yeah.
For somebody that's
Yeah.
watching a girl get abducted, to me, he sounds too calm, which makes me wonder if it was like staged, if he had something to do with it. It just don't seem right. It's no way a man that's his girl, his wife, his anything. He didn't. You sitting at the window and you talking like that to a dispatcher. I ain't buying it.
I was thinking the same thing. Like,
I
why
ain't
why
buying
he
it.
not yelling like something?
There was no emotion behind it. Nothing.
Right. Yeah.
His reaction was kind of like our reaction from watching it, not knowing her, just kind of like, oh my, like, is that really happening? It wasn't like, oh, that's my woman.
He
Like,
said, "Oh my God, bro! Like I'm just my girl getting abducted. Like, come on, man! I ain't never heard some clown ass shit like that before in my life. Excuse
Oh
me.
my gosh, I can't believe this.
right.
It sounded like it was rehearsed. It sounds scripted. It did not sound authentic. Like it was something really happening at that moment.
Yeah, see, that's the part that got me. But yeah, that video definitely caught me this week where I was just like, wow, bro, like it's just too much going on.
But I feel like it got to be more to it. Like, okay, y'all kidnapped her for what? Like,
what's the storyline?
For what?
And it wasn't like she wasn't gone wrong. Like somebody
to get back
wanted,
at him,
like,
or
and the person had a security shirt on, so I guess that was their way of kind of getting her attention. Like, but who just walks around the neighborhood with a security shirt on? Like, I don't know. Ladies, be careful. Watch yourself. Watch these dudes you messing with. It's crazy out here.
So since we having this conversation, right? So a couple of days ago, a friend of mine, we were having a conversation, and one thing I've noticed about guys that's in the street or been in the streets at some point in their life, it always revolves back around to an old conversation about what they used to do or what happened when they were in jail, and conversations they had that was less than stand up.
Mm-hmm.
And what he said to me was, we were talking about the violence in the city. And what he said to me was, when he said it to me, I was kind of blown back, and it's not too many things that surprised me. But what he said was, he recalls a conversation he had with his older brother. And his brother told him that instead of these guys killing each other, they need to start grabbing their girlfriends, these guys' girlfriends, their mothers, their kids, and all this stuff, as opposed to trying to kill them. That'll stop all the violence in the city. So when I hear about like these ladies dying and mothers and kids dying, this is what the older generation is telling these young guys to do. This is why you're seeing so much of this stuff happen, because they've elevated that game from just killing each other to killing people that's close to them to try to get to them. So that's what you're saying now. Yeah.
But when you say the older guys, like what generation older guys? Because like when I think of older guys, I might go a little further back. And if I go further back, then I'm thinking about when it actually used to be codes. Like you don't mess with the mama, you don't mess with the kids. Mm-hmm. You might not even mess with that house.
Mm-hmm. So you're right, but these guys are in their mid to late 50s, mm-hmm. And the conversation now. One of the guys that was sitting there, he said that once upon a time it was a code. He did say that, but because I do know a little bit about him, he ain't operating under the code neither. So I mean, these guys, when you encounter these people today, like the setup is totally different. And see, and like you said, these young girls have to be careful because, see, everybody's so infatuated with the result of hustling or doing different things, and they all see what? Money, glitz and glamour. But what they don't understand is, with that, they had to step on somebody. And these young guys today are not interested in necessarily doing something to the guy that stepped on them, but doing something to their family members, friends, girlfriends, girls, all in the midst of everything. They going out in the clubs and they in everybody's face and they hanging out, they with different people. Next thing you know, you find out that the girl got shot and you saying to yourself, now who kills a girl? Yeah, a guy kills a girl. There's a guy that had a beef with her boyfriend. And that's just what's happening nowadays.
Well, better watch who you mess with. Watch who you're dealing with. I mean, just go get the COVID vaccine.
And you know what? One more thing. Yo, what happened to the days where little girls would bring their boyfriends to their fathers? Because once I used to have to meet these girls' father at one time.
I did too.
And they would not go out. Their fathers wouldn't let them go out nowhere unless they met the guy that they was hanging out with. And if I didn't meet their approval, they couldn't go. But now,
daddies ain't at home.
That's a part of it. That's definitely a part of it. That's why I would tend to kind of veer to not mine. NJ Rich had to meet the fathers as well.
All of that, Mike. What you was just about to say. Mm-hmm. He
Well,
targeted those with no daddies.
No, I preferred a woman with a little bit of issues. It made the relationship more exciting.
We know.
I have never claimed to be a perfect man. I've become better, but I've never claimed to be perfect none of us were perfect in our younger days. We did some things and went fishing in questionable ponds.
Questionable ponds. Where the gunshots?
Oh, my bad.
Terrible.
So, you are tuned into the Cooling the Gang show with our special guest, Mr. Charles Eddington, real estate investor, family man. So, Charles, what are some influences that brought you along the way to kind of like, was it one of those things where you were like, this is a nice hustle, I want to get with it? Or were you watching somebody you were like, okay, this is what I want to emulate? Like, how did you even get going?
Yeah, so just kind of watching a couple of people first. My guy here in Baltimore, Marcel Humphrey, he turned me on to a lot of the game when I first got in, and I was just wholesaling. And then so I got a lot of education from him. And then I went to one of the Rich Dad, Poor Dad seminars or things like that. And I just got more education, man. Then I just started educating myself. And then the business was growing. And I just played with it for some years and just played with it wholesale and just making a few thousand here and there. And then I just decided to turn the game up in 2015. Yeah, more like 2015. I just decided to turn the game up. I had my first kid on the way. And I was just like, oh, man, I need something. I need a little more income to put in place for these babies.
And you know what? I know you noticed this, but the whole pandemic caused people to find other avenues. But you had already been doing this from before, because I've placed a plenty of call to you in my little situations, and you can kind of help and walk me through them. So I can attest that this is pre-pandemic. You were doing this before, but what did you think about the fact that once the pandemic started to hit, people were rushing like now all you see up and down my timeline now is somebody talking about real estate. I see digital marketing, it is a lot. Does it saturate what you're trying to do? Does it what does it do?
It does, man. It does saturate the field, but what happens is, at some point when you're in those deals or you're looking at, you're just looking at different properties, like the real start to get separated from the imposters. So when it's time to, really move forward, I know one of the things that I run into is if somebody emails me a deal and I'm interested, I send them something like, I want to take a look at it. They started asking me 50 million questions. So from the questions alone that they're asking me, I can tell that they're either new to wholesaling or trying to sell properties or whatever. And then I kind of have to talk to them a certain way to say, hey, listen, I'm not a rookie and I understand you're just getting in the game and this is what I'm looking for. This is what I want. And then kind of move forward like that. But everybody has a hustle. I don't knock it. It's definitely, I enjoy the education that's out there, because even though you run into some people who don't know what the hell they're talking about, you do have, quite a few people that know what they're bringing to the table. So I just listen to that stuff. I dissect it. I look into it before I go running with something. I'll look into it from myself, do my research, and I'll see if it's something that fits into my business strategy. And then I go from there. But you see all of the, people selling programs, people have deals, get into my mentorship program and things like that. And it's like you said, Mike, you'll call me for something and, I just give the information. And I'm like that with a ton of people. So they'll call me and I'm just helping them out. Because for me, man, it's about that mindset. I just want everybody to have that mindset and shift their gears and be able to like just go to the next level, whatever it is. So if I'm saying I want you to pay me $1,000 to give you this information, like that's a whole nother hurdle right there that you may have to get over. So let's just focus on like getting everybody to the next phase and the next step and just helping people grow, man, and seeing people go to the next level. So that's how I am about it.
So somebody that's kind of like sitting back right now and, they might have lost their job during the pandemic, but they've been saving up them 600s. They've been putting them 600s to the side. Like, what is your advice, or do you even advise them if they want to be like, you know what, I need to do something. I want to work for myself. I'm interested in houses. I like lawns, or like, it's different things that people like about the aspect of a house that makes them kind of want to kind of mess with housing. They may like just designing the inside of them and then, selling them. Somebody may have a complex and they want to be somebody's boss, or they want to be a landlord. You never know. So what is your advice as far as like them kind of getting started, if they should even get into it, the correct way to do it?
All right. So it's so many different facets in real estate. So, if they want to design a house, then they should stick to that if that's their passion. Don't move into trying to buy a house and be a landlord, because that's a whole nother ball game. Don't try to jump right into buy a house and renovate it and sell it, because that's a whole nother ball game. They're totally different things. But if it's something particular that you like about real estate, then stick to that lane and then grow from there. So me, I went from wholesaling to buying properties to buying holds and then going into flipping properties. So I would tell those people like, hey, you've been saving up your money. So focus on your niche. What is it that you like to do? What is it that people would say, hey, Mike or Shannon, like, I know that you can tell me ABC, XYZ about this. Stick to that. Do your due diligence there, like become the professional, become the pro there, be able to answer questions from A to Z in that category before you move on to something else. I know people were saving those 600s. I know a lot of people were blowing that $600 check that was coming out, but here's the reality of it. A lot of people say, you can buy a property with no money down and stuff like that, right? We hear a lot of that type of stuff. So at some point though, you're going to have to come up with some cash. So, I don't care what you say, you don't have to have any money. You're going to need some source of funding or some source of money right there. So, I would say keep stacking your money. Look for partnerships. That's a good way to like get into it and raise some money. Like also like be willing to learn, be coachable. So, put yourself in a situation where like you're willing to, put some elbow grease. You're willing to do some work to learn something as well. And, that may consist of doing some free work. And just so that you can learn the game and be a part of what that person is doing, and then be involved with the business that they're doing and help them grow so that they can teach you stuff. So while they're growing, they're looking at you saying, all right, you helping me get here and get there. So they should be willing to help you as well. So you got to find the right type of partnership for that too. So is it feasible? I think they had about a year of getting the extra $600 or something like that. So, that's a ton of money if they were saving it up. For those of them that did. So it's definitely some opportunities out there to like put money into like marketing, because if you are trying to wholesale a property, you might need some extra marketing to sell it. You might need to do marketing to find people that want to buy your properties. You might need, it's a lot of little small things in the background that you still spending money on, where it might not be the house necessarily, but you need some money. So, like I said, just focus on your passion and what you may like or love about real estate, grow there, and then start moving into the other areas.
So you said buy hold. What is a hold?
So buy and hold. So buy and hold is those are your landlords. So, you buy a property, you're holding on to it, fix it up, rent it out, or you have a lot of what you see in Baltimore City where people buy properties and they just hold on to it, and you just see it sitting there. They never do any work to it or anything like that. So, and the reason they do that is for like tax advantages and stuff like that. So typically these people have a ton of money and they're buying real estate and they're using it kind of as a shelter for their money to say, hey, I'm spending X amount of dollars on this, so that they can write it off on their taxes and hide their taxable income. So I'm not a CPA, so but those are like some of the strategies that people are using, with property, because you get a lot of tax write-offs in the real estate world. So that's why you see a lot of properties just sitting there. So that's a buy and hold. Then you'll hear fix and flip. Fix and flip is what it is. So you fixing it. The word flip has a bad term to it, or a bad ring to it, because if you guys remember, it was people were saying, oh, they're just flipping properties, where people were just buying properties, painting them, marking up the price, and then selling them. But a true flipper is going to buy the house, do the proper work, permits and all of that, then sell the property, and you'll pass all inspections and you'll get all the proper stuff done. And then you flip the property, meaning I'm going to sell it on the market, put it on the market, so that people who want to buy properties can put an offer in on your property.
So we got a question in the room. So NJ Rich says, what about pooling money and doing real estate investing?
Yep. So that's a very, very, very cool idea right there. So I have, some private investors that put money together, with me to buy properties and sell them. And you can do a couple of things with that. So you can get together with a pool of people and make sure you click with those people. Because you'll have different ideas, and that could kind of mess up the group a little bit. So write down like what your agenda is, what you want to do, know your exit strategy. So if you write down your exit strategies before you go into the property, then you should know what you're doing. So along the way, everybody's on the same page. But it definitely works, pulling your money together. It's a smart idea. Just make sure everybody's on the same page. So if you got 5 friends that's been saving that $600 a month, you can easily do something now, because it's a lot of money right there. So you can easily do something. And a lot of people look at, let's say, $1 million property. They're like, well, how do you got $1 million? Like, how am I buy $1 million property? Well, you don't need $1 million to buy $1 million property. You need anywhere between 20 to 30% to buy $1 million property. So now you have to come up with $250,000 to $300,000 to buy $1 million property, which is more obtainable than coming up with $1 million. So pulling your money together is a great idea. It's a great idea to do, and I would highly suggest it. You just need to be very selective about who you're doing business with.
So what about, he also has a follow-up question. What do you think about apps like Fundraise? I've never heard of that app.
Yeah. So I don't use too many of those apps. I have looked at them. I thought about investing in some of them, because it's another one called Crowd Fund or something like that, where they invest in, and I think they invest in real estate, more real estate projects. So I don't know too much about those because I haven't dove into it, but it could be a good idea. I think a lot of them, people come on there looking for money, so they have terms in which they'll pay you the money back. So does it make sense to you to say, I want to put my money in this deal for 6 months, 8 months, a year, and make whatever it is, 10% on my money, or whatever the terms are where they're paying you back?
Well, you are tuned into the Cool in the Gang Show live every Tuesday night, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Shannon, I can see you, right? 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Take 1 second, hit that like button, hit that thumbs up, hit that heart. We love the hearts. And do one thing, hit that share button. It's free 99, like Shannon says. So just take a second, hit that share button, tell a friend about the Cool in the Gang Show. We are joined by our special guest, real estate investor Charles Eddington. We have been talking about so far real estate investing. We talked a little bit about I guess the COVID aspect. We didn't really get too deep into that. But did that kind of stutter step the whole? Because I know once everything started to kind of open up, the cost of houses was just ridiculous. Like, Shannon and I started looking for a house, and we couldn't even compete with the bids that were going down on the houses. So talk a little bit about that.
So man, so COVID was just one of those anomalies, right? It was crazy. Nobody expected it. You didn't know what to do. Who expected stuff to shut down? So the crazy part about it was that during COVID, properties went up. I mean, I'm somewhere maybe 200% in value. Like the prices just went up on all real estate. So it was good if you were a seller. You're trying to get rid of a property. That was a good thing because you were able to get extra money because everybody's looking for it. But the reason for that is because money was cheaper. You know what I mean? The feds dropped the rates. When the feds drop the rates, you know, you can borrow all this money and have a lower payment, you know, to pay for a $300,000 or $400,000 house or $1 million house. So the money was definitely cheaper. So it was good in that aspect. You were a landlord, depending on your tenant situation, you ran into a lot of issues because your tenant lost a job, couldn't get money. In some states, you know, the what was it, unemployment and stuff like that just wasn't on track. They didn't roll it out good. So they weren't getting money. So tenants weren't getting paid. You see all of these moratoriums out here. So now the landlords are in situations where they owe mortgages because they haven't been able to, you know, collect rent, and you can't put people out. So that was the hardship right there. Luckily, we didn't have that situation. You know, one of the things that we focus on here at C-Ray 3 is building a community by, one, beautifying the properties, and then also having affordable housing. So we have, you know, several affordable housing units. And then also when we buy and flip properties, we're focusing on having affordable properties in the community. So, you know, we're kind of like in a little sweet spot where we are, you know, still able to, you know, get money, keep money, but also, you know, do something for the community. And that's one of the biggest things that we do here and the focus that we have.
Yeah, see, that's the way, and see, that's the mindset. I think a lot of people will get in it and have the other mindset. I've dealt with some of those people. It's all about get what I can as quick as I can and leave town. It's kind of like the carnival aspect when the carnies come in town, like, you know, get it and go, set it up real quick and get out of town before anybody notices that it took you $300 to win that little teddy bear, you know, stuff like that. So yeah, the landlord aspect, like I think we got lucky because our tenant didn't lose their job, so we kept getting our rent.
Good job.
Never on time, but a friend of mine told me, like, another friend of mine I had that does real estate, I would call him and be like, man, the rent ain't here. He was like, well, it's only the 10th. When she usually pay? I'd be like, well, usually between like the 5th and the 15th. He was like, well, you in a good spot. And I'm thinking to myself, like, really? Like, is it that bad?
Yep.
So do you prefer to flip or to rent, or you kind of in the middle?
So I'm in like a mix right now, like right in the middle. So I've been looking at more flips than rentals, but also because I'm just trying to transition from my 9 to 5 and, you know, just strictly be in the real estate. So, you know, I'm trying to build up, you know, a nice lump sum of capital. And then, you know, I have my rentals as that monthly cash flow that's just coming in and coming in and coming in. So I'm in that sweet spot right now where it's like, all right, you know what I mean? Is that going to be best for a rental, or is it going to be best for a flip? Because if it's a rental and you buying it, you putting money in a pot. So think about it like a bank. You putting the money there, but you're going to get more money from that rental property than what your bank will pay you for the year or the month, however you will look at it. So, you know, it's just like, yeah. It's a funny spot that I'm in right now, man. Super exciting, but it's a funny spot that I'm in, and it's real exciting because, you know, I think within the past 2 years or 3 years or so, like I've really been like, oh man, I should really leave my job and just do real estate full time because the business is really booming. And it's like now it's like I'm right there. So when you hear people talk about like being scared to take that jump or scared to transition and do that, like that's really where I'm at right now. And so it has me in a funny spot as far as buying and holding or flipping the properties.
Well, Like I said, this is the Cool in the Gang show. Our special guest is here, real estate investor Charles Eddington. We got some more things I want to find out how the name came about. I also want to talk to you about the family life balance, because I think we all go through that no matter what we do. Even if you do stay with your job, like it's all depending on what type of worker you are. It's always that balance. You might sell jewelry, you know. It's always that balance. Did you hear me, Shane? Shane, you hear me?
Question for me? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I had a question. I just want to make sure I heard this plan right. So we buy up enough rentals to allow us to live from day to day, and then we start flipping houses to build our savings. Is that what I heard?
No, you heard my plan.
But that plan sound like a good plan. That sound like a good plan. They say mimic the right cat. That's what we do in my game. We mimic the right cat.
No,
if that's what works.
No, because see, I know a ton of people that don't have rentals. They only buy and flip properties, and they live off of that, you know, for the year. So I know some people that say, man, listen, I just need to do 3 properties a year and make $40K a property or $50K a property. And they good with that. And that's it. That's all it is. That's all they do.
I like playing better. Boo, you better get on your rental stuff so you can retire me and I can work my jury 24/7. That's what
You don't not show that in mind.
So
one of the things that, just based off of what he just said, one of the things that the guy that had taught us about trading, he said was, I can't necessarily tell you what to do because I don't know your goals.
Yep.
You gotta develop your plan based off of what your goals are. See, in his particular case, based off of what I'm hearing, he has children and he has 2 small children and he has to ensure that there's something solid coming in. There can't be no guesswork and I hope and that type of thing. If you don't have that as an issue, then that may not be a part of your goal setting. Your goal setting may be, you know what? Instead of me having to worry about a definite monthly income coming in, as long as I get this good hit at least once or twice a month, I'm in a good place. So it just really depends on where you want to be at and what you want, long term. But one question I do want to ask you real fast. So I know a lot of people out here don't have capital, and that's a part of their issue about getting into real estate. But even if they do have the capital, is credit more important than the capital?
So they go hand in hand. If you are going to be borrowing money from a lender, you're going to have capital to still close on that deal. So the lender's not going to give you 100%. You got some lenders out here who advertise it. I've never gotten 100% for the purchase and 100% for the rehab. So the lender may be somewhere between 90% or 70% that they'll give you for that property, right? So you got to come up with the rest of it. So you need the capital right there. The next thing that they're going to do is they are going to look at your credit. You got some lenders who are going to pull your credit and they want to see where you're at because they want to know how much of a risk you are. And then they, if you are in the right credit range where you can qualify. But let's just say you at that like 650, 680 mark or something like that. That's on the lower end for them. So now they're going to charge you a higher interest rate for that money because you're more of a risk. But if you have a higher credit score, then they're going to charge you a lower interest rate because they're going to say, well, you're not that much of a risk. It shows that you have some responsibility. Now, if you also have, let's say, for instance, you have a ton of cash and you have a good credit score, they'll give you a lower rate because you have both. But then another thing that they're going to look at is your experience that you're going to have. So they may say, well, I'm going to charge you 1 point, 2 point, or 3 points or something like that. And the points is just a way for them to earn money or collect money for lending you money. Did I answer your question, son?
Yes, sir.
That's crazy. Like the different, I thought if I came with the credit and the money, I'm golden. Now you want to check my police record?
Yeah, man. You can come with that credit and that money, and then the next question they're gonna ask you is, so how many flips did you have this year? How many flips you had in the past 3 years? So they want to know that to base it off your experience, because they're going to give you the money for the rehab. So they want to know, do you have experience going through it? Because you might jack up the money, or you might if you don't have any experience with the rehab, then you may have a harder time, or you may pay more doing your construction than somebody else who's been doing it. They know where to cut the cost. They know how to keep that cost down and still make sure it's a quality product, right?
All right. Well, you heard that. I want to pivot a little bit, if y'all don't mind. Just a little, just a tad. Because
jamming in the car.
Yeah, she on her way to pick up Aiden from foosball. What's up, Herb? Definitely a lot of good information. So let's pivot, sideline our conversation with y'all. We got a nice amount of people in here. Everybody take a second, hit that thumbs up, hit that heart. We love the hearts. Hit that heart, show us some love, let us know you're here. Shout yourself out so we can shout you out. Milk crate challenges. So Charles, you can't build a house with milk crates, can you?
I don't know. I wouldn't do it.
The kids might be able to make a nice little clubhouse, but I don't think the stability of it is what you really want to see. Now, these challenges come from out of nowhere, but I mean, Charles, you need to start a how many houses can you flip challenge? Like, how about that? Let's challenge ourselves in a way that we ain't gonna get hurt or look like buffoons on the internet. And
so look,
really, just do something.
This a friend of mine posted that on her page. Neri.
Did we lose it? You muted. I don't know how you got muted.
Yeah, I don't know how that happened. But a friend of mine was talking about how everybody doing this milk crate challenge. And I said, it's fun how, as a people, we run to the dumbest shit, the stuff that's gonna make us look the silliest, and everything got to be fun and stupid. Now, I would be more impressed if it was children doing it, but these are grown ass people running up milk crates. That's something that we would have done when we were 14, 13, 12, 11, something like that, building a basketball goal in the backyard. That's something that you expect a child to do. Now, as adults, I'm surprised that you see so many adults running to this stupid shit. I said, if we're going to do a challenge, why don't we do a get money together challenge? Why don't we create a business challenge? Why don't we do a $10,000 together challenge? Why is it not that? And see, if somebody say something like that, they automatically say, well, no, I don't really want to do that. But you want to run up some milk crates? I said, please don't share that shit with me. Please don't show me that.
Well, guess what?
Somebody's auntie doing the milk crate challenge. She will be rewarded $6,000 if she can make it over the milk crates. Boy, I don't know about this one, Reggie. Your legs is shaking like she has to pee.
Watch out, she's going down!
My golly Wally.
Whoa! Falls down and loses her wig!
Are you kidding me? And then her wig came off. Is the $6,000 even worth it?
This is what you wanted, right? This is what y'all wanted, so we're gonna give it to you. And look at this idiot. Who the hell stacked this picture? Who did that? Lord.
You know, the crazy part is that's somebody, boyfriend and girlfriend and wife running up and down the fucking milk crate. Yo, I think if my wife did some shit like that, I'd just tell her, yo, don't come home no more, yo. Like,
you leaving her? You leaving her?
Like, you would embarrassed to life.
Why are you so
why you out there?
But it's not just.
I better not see you on the milk crate challenge.
No, it's not just for us though.
Trying to do this.
Not with the props.
What?
Now, what got me about this jailhouse milk crate challenge wasn't the challenge, but look at how many cell phones is going to be around when they pan the crowd. Like, how many cell phones is got out there?
Left side, further to the left on the next level. Further to the left.
Everybody got a cell phone.
Look at this.
Here you go. Yeah, run down. He ain't gonna make it. further to the left, because the track turns to the right.
Good job. They're one down.
Put in cheat codes.
Run, Shotty, run.
He ain't gonna make it. What is he trying to fly?
White boy got that shit. White boy look like a bird.
We all know how it ends.
That was jail?
Yeah, that was penitentiary.
These niggas here.
They made him do that.
Mm-hmm. And then you got this one right here where 3 people ended up dead because somebody came through shooting.
Yeah, I saw this one.
Somebody came through shooting?
Get my gun! Get my gun! Shit.
Damn.
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 Dang.
Boy,
3 people ended up dead.
Like it's Baghdad.
Man, it's crazy.
See, that,
And then
that was a good way. I mean, Lord forgive me, but that was a good way to get him. Got all these dumbass niggas standing around, just standing around, watching.
and this is the last and final one, Black Girl Magic.
Y'all gotta be quiet.
She got the heels on.
She got them heels on.
That's that 2022. That's gonna be that 2022 picture.
Yes, queen. Some heels.
Y'all gotta be quiet.
She need to focus.
Yeah. Be respectful. He's having a picture with. I'm a jump. You better not let me go.
Yo, her knees don't nut straighten, yo.
It's about balance.
Mm-hmm.
Be quiet. She said be quiet. Oh my God.
She need to focus, man.
I went for no reason.
Come on, sis.
You
You can't break them ankles. Come on, sis.
You did it faster in the hills.
Yeah, you did faster. I just knew she was gonna break them ankles. Like, woo, I was holding my breath for her.
She knew not to straighten out them knees. She kept
Somebody take her to Applebee's, please.
Yeah. Like, so that was our week. That was our cousins and friends and sisters and brothers this weekend.
But hold on, Mike. You got to be fair, because there was a video I saw on the way home. I think the lady was in New York, and it wasn't one of our cousins.
Okay. Well, the dude in jail wasn't even. So
yeah,
you know, he wasn't.
It was in New York, man. They put a pad out on the street, and they had the fancy crates. Looked like they went and bought them from IKEA. and she fell down. She fell off.
See, they was cheating with the pads though. But if you're going to do it, I advise you to do it the correct way. In all honesty,
don't do it at all.
Let's be honest. If you really think about it and look at it, is it anything different from what we would have seen on Wipeout or like an obstacle course? Like,
you're getting paid for that. I'm getting paid to look stupid and try to get to the end.
It's got to build up some sort of endurance or something.
Whatever.
Oh yeah, don't forget the scholarship entry videos with grandmas and mamas.
I was just about to say that one. Now that one is fucking hilarious.
They hilarious.
Sent you, Mike, with the pastor.
Oh, you said it was me and my mother.
Yeah, that's I can see
you said it was me and my mother.
I did say I could see you and Ronnie doing that. You already be trying to call her skeezer on the low.
That wasn't the one. I saw another one where a dude was like, my mama, she worked hard. She was a prostitute. Mother got like,
yeah.
She went all the way off.
She jumped up and squared off on him and kicked the stool. That one.
Yeah, and she threw. I think she even up throwing a glass or something at him at the end. Like she was like, I wasn't never no prostitute.
No, y'all gotta watch the lady.
The mother started hitting the son with the fly swatter.
Yeah, I did see that one.
Fly swatter. She was back.
I'm telling y'all, man, Mike, after the show, share the one with the grandma, because the grandmother, who was a pastor, went from pastor to cursing to talking in tongues to ready to fight all in one motion. Was hilarious.
And that's the crazy part, and because we talk about a lot, like when we have guests come on, we talk about this, like the internet and social media has been a gift and a curse. depending on whose hands you put it in, it will determine how it works out. I'm not sure how it works, like with real estate, like, trying to sell a house. I mean, shoot, you put an ad in or go to Zillow now and then, but shoot, throwing it on the internet, you're going to reach so many more people so much faster than you would have 10 years ago. So I don't down the internet. I use it for more so what it's worth. I guess the promotional aspect of it. So what about Charles? How you feel about, like, because even you came from the background, like, when we first met, you were promoting parties and stuff like that. We ain't have Instagram. I probably would still be doing parties if Instagram was out when we messing around.
Not your old ass.
The internet just provided like a monster of a tool for everybody. And you see, like, those of us or those people that just really learn how to exploit it and use it for its marketing power. Like, you see, like, you can see it in their brands. You can see it in, if they flash you on the internet, like, you can see it, you know what I mean? And, you're right. I don't doubt it, man. It's a tool, and it's just all about what do you want to use it for? And just like anything else, you got to cipher out, like, what's the good stuff and what's the bad stuff. So, the internet's just a tool where everybody can really put something on there. So even if, just like if somebody used to come to you 10 years ago, 12 years ago and say something to you, you should still look into that information for yourself and figure out, how true it is or how real it is before you just decide to go and do it, right?
Crazy. So as far as housing, so what has been your, like, I know it hasn't all been good. So just, you got to give me one where it was just like, what the hell? Like, was there ever that moment, like, what the hell am I, like, why am I doing this? Like, for what?
Yeah. So, all right. So I had this tenant. This may be the second rental. I think it was the second one. So I had this tenant, moved in. I mean, man, guy had a great job. I mean, he was making like 90 to 100,000 a year, and moved in. So I think the second day after he moved in, I went over there to get some paperwork from him. Man, the house was cluttered already. I mean, it was cluttered with everything. So I'm just like, what is going on? Huh?
Day two.
So he moved in on a Monday. Day two looked like he had been there for months already. So I was like, oh Lord. So man, I think within 1 month, probably within 2 weeks or something, man, he was already calling me, talking about he's going to be behind on the rent, this and that. But I go over there to check out something, and he pulls up in a brand new car, and and he got all this like new stuff still in boxes. So I'm just like, Lord, you know what I'm saying? So I know I screened him, but I'm gonna say I didn't screen him good enough, because I should have looked at his bank stubs a little more in depth. Because once I went back and I looked, I saw where I messed up, man. Because everything he was renting. I mean, if you name something in your house, this guy was renting it out. If you name something that you ever thought about buying, this guy had already bought it. And I could see it, all through his bank stuff. And I was just like, man, why didn't I look at this? So, man, he totally left the property in shambles. So I had to pay to, get the property turned over. So I had to pay to get all his stuff cleaned out, fresh paint back in there. And then when you lose a tenant, you get a new one. You got to pay for a new lead inspection and all of that stuff. So it's like start from scratch. You got to do it all over again, man. So that happened. That was real crazy. Then I had another one where the guy moved in. He's only there for a few months. Then next thing I know, he not paying the rent, couldn't get in contact with him, and he had a child staying with him. So I was like, man, what is going on? And then I would go around there. The neighbors knew me. They was like, oh, man, you seen him? And I said, no, I haven't seen him. They said, man, he supposed to sell me his TV. I said, sell you his TV? Yeah, like, what's going on? So, man, dude had been selling his stuff, out the property. So, he had some other issues going on where he was, selling all the stuff out of his property.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, man. So then when he wound up leaving, man, it was so much stuff in there and good stuff that when I had to clean the property out, I just got some guys to come over and I was just like, listen, y'all can keep what y'all want. I just want y'all to clean it out. Man, they kept so much of the stuff.
Wasn't nothing left to clean.
Mm-mm.
Damn. I think you froze up on us, Charles.
I barely had.
I think he freezy.
Yeah, he froze. Oh man.
He'll be back. He probably went to go look for that dude. There he is. Thought you went to go look for the dude. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. We are not doing that. Nah, dog. No, we are not doing that.
You want dinner?
What you doing, Shannon? What you doing?
He's literally right in front of me, like in the kitchen. Like, we in the apartment now, so I see you. I can see it. All right. So, and see that, I guess that stuff like that steers people away from being a landlord and renting. Like, and Maryland is so tenant friendly. Like Maryland don't make it easy to put somebody out of house. Like you gotta jump through all the hoops. And now they've extended. Rent is not late on the 5th no more. It's the 10th now. I told you that. Chris told me. Yeah, rent is late on the 10th now, so that's an extra 5 days. And it seems like the rules are made. How can I say this without y'all calling me names like y'all usually do? Help me, Mayberry.
I'm not helping you.
Yes, please help me. Help
No.
me. Guide me
So
through this.
the rules is so it's like this. The rules are kind of made for. It's made for the tenants. Let's just leave it like that. It's made for the tenants.
That was the yeah.
Go ahead,
It's made for the tenants. So me and my wife was talking about that, and you gotta think about that. So why is it made for the tenants? Why is it if you go to the court, more than likely they're gonna rule in favor of the tenants? So it's not always that they're trying to rule against you or don't want you to win, but it's a bigger issue at hand. So if they say, if you can easily take somebody to court and put them out, right? Mm-hmm. So now you got another family out in the street. So now you got another homeless issue, another homeless problem. So most cities, especially Baltimore, are trying to fight, homeless problems or homeless issues. So if you cannot put people out, you don't want to put people out. If the courts can keep the people in the house, they want to keep them in the house. They want to keep them somewhere because it's keeping them off the street. When you're keeping them off the street, you're solving other issues, crime issues, drug issues, things like that. You're just resolving other issues. You know what I mean? So they put the burden on our back, which isn't fair.
I'm not the mayor.
Yeah. So they put the burden on our back, and they look at it more like a business, which it is, and they think that it's just easy to recoup from it. So it's a lot of things that aren't fair for the landlord, but there's bigger issues that need solutions, right? So that's how we look at it. So that's why I say that at C-Rate 3 we focus on providing affordable housing, and we focus on being able to provide affordable homes. Because if you have affordable housing, especially in the communities that are, changing drastically, you have people that are able to stay in their communities. You have people that just are able to rent homes because it is affordable housing. You'll hear a lot of people say things bad about Section 8 tenants, right? Mm-hmm. I love Section 8 tenants. I love them. My Section 8 tenants have been great to me. They've done great. They keep the properties up. I don't have any issues with them. They call me ahead of time. If something's going on, they let me know. And guess what? Throughout the whole pandemic, that check still came on the 1st.
On time. On time.
Yep. So you just got to screen. You got to screen your Section 8 tenants and make sure you checking on your property. And then and just talk with them, man. If you talk with them, if you put yourself in a position where you like helping them, not really spending money. It don't always cost money to help people. So if you put yourself in a position to help them, like they value that. So then in turn, they want to make sure that they're taking care of your property, right? So, you got to try to help find a solution, to the problems. So if it's a problem out there, if you can find a solution to it. Then we got a special guest. Hey. Oh, once it's upstairs, I'm gonna don't if you come in here, everybody in the world gonna see you. So Mike, this went to mom trying to peep in the office right now. She don't believe me. Every time I tell her something, she don't believe me.
Oh, Stephanie.
He exaggerates.
See.
Where's Winter and the babies?
I don't know where Winter and the kids at. She really don't believe that I'm sitting here on the show.
Stephanie. Stephanie.
I know where they at. I've been down here since. I can't believe this right now.
I don't even want to hear.
I don't know where they at.
Where'd you get a card to Sean?
She should have her card.
Then she's out here.
This is what happens when you work from home. When you work from home.
This only happens on the Coolina Gang show. I love it.
Conversation
I love
like
it.
I wasn't in the middle or something.
I love
she
it.
never believed me when I tell her something though.
She said he down there playing in the basement.
Not playing in the basement.
Yeah.
So
but yeah, so, you know, man, just like
a lot of people try to
persuade
me not to do the Section 8. Like when I was trying to first figure out how I wanted to go as far as a tenant, I had put my house on Section 8. I was like, because all I was thinking was guaranteed money. But a couple people persuaded me not to go that route, and their main reason was because, they're going to tear your house up. And I'm thinking, and I didn't just went, let me stop, because somebody probably listening to the show, and they're going to call and tell somebody I done talked about their cousin in my house and some shit.
Mike, I just had an inspection, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I went to the property before the inspectors came out, checked out everything. The tenants the property was great. The property was in great condition. There was some things that were wear and tear that I had to, go and fix, but that was it. But I screened those people before they moved in. I screened them. I went to look at where they were living at, and the reason they left where they were living was because the landlord wanted to fix the house and sell it, so he wasn't going to do Section 8 anymore. But it's been a perfect situation, man. So, if you have the opportunity to get back into, to get a Section 8 tenant, like I would say do it because it's guaranteed rent. And it's a part of it is holding you responsible to holding you accountable, making sure that you know what you're supposed to do for the property. And then, your tenant will be there. And like somebody just now said, communication. Once you communicate, man, you let them know like what you're looking for, what you need them to do, and things like that. You can have a good relationship, man.
So NJ Rich has another question. He says, what other businesses outside of people to clean out homes are related to real estate?
So cleaning the homes out. So once people, so you got a few clean out things going on, right? So if you buy a property, you got some work to do, right? You got your demo guys. So your demo guys, so that's one clean out right there. Then after the property is finished, whether or not you are renting it or you're selling it, right? Then you got the people that come in and actually clean it, that can clean the house. So, after all the finished work, getting the dust up, cleaning the floors up, making everything sparkling and shining and things like that. So that's two things for clean out right there. A lot of times you run into your hauling guys. Your hauling guys typically cut grass too. So that's like 2 in 1. That's like a 2 in 1 right there. If you got a good guy for it, then you want to put him on your team as best as you can. So whenever you can give him work, make sure you give him the work.
No, not again.
I know you're going to blame me.
You know what I mean? I'm back now.
There we go.
He had a second. He said, do you see other people of color in these businesses?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah. I mean, I've done work with everybody under the sun for real. So, I see a lot of African Americans. I've done work with Indians. I've done work with, people of the Spanish community and Latino community. I see everybody. And to me, it's just about how you put yourself out there. And the biggest thing for me as on this side of the business, what you run into is people who don't show up for work. So if you want to get into something, half the battle is showing up. So once you show up, like you really beat out a lot of the competition because people don't show up, man. Like I've called so many people to get on. This year I gave up cutting the grass. Man, I called several people out. Nobody would come. And then when the people did come, they gave me an estimate. I was fine with it. I wasn't going to haggle. And I said, we'll start next week. And they don't show up.
I think we all can relate to something like that. Linnea also said that's key screening. Yeah, I think my screening was, I thought it was good, but I got sidetracked about a side conversation during the screening and kind of took me another way. Once you start talking about my mama and shit, I'll be like, yeah, I got, yeah.
Why Shannon in the back?
Yeah, she's loose.
I know, right?
She's salty. All right, let's pivot again real quick. COVID. So I saw this ad a while ago, and I know, Charles, I know you've seen. I'm not sure where you stand. We've already been banned from YouTube. Our previous channel has been banned permanently from YouTube, and we've never said anything. I don't believe that was wrong. We just have open conversation. So we're actually on our second YouTube channel now. So we watch how we speak about the C word. So I saw this ad, and somebody sent it to me a while ago, and I've been looking at it, and I'll just let y'all look at it.
Was screeching halt. You have to understand, I'm a hustler. I'm a legit entrepreneur. I sell things. I come in contact with people all the time. I have to stay safe. I didn't have a choice but to trust the vaccine. And if you live the type of lifestyle that I live, you out here in these streets and you hustling, an entrepreneur like me, why not do it safely? So I want everybody to take this seriously. Take a shot at staying healthy. Get the vaccine.
I can't. Did he just sit here talking about how he out here in these streets pushing weight, and that's why he needs to get
Yeah.
No,
he need a vaccine. He need vaccinated fiends only over here.
So he can tell y'all that he pushing weight and promote that all on there, but we get our shit shut down. Well, we just have an opinion about the C word.
They paid him. He didn't have to go to jail if he did the commercial to get more niggas to come and get shot up. I'm just saying.
I know, get more niggas.
But it doesn't. I don't even understand the whole big thing. Juvenile and vax that thing up. You got this commercial. You're giving away chicken and
Uber rides,
tickets, free Uber rides, lotteries, like
raffles.
I think that's what turns a lot of people off from legitimately wanting to take that step when you see the sideshow going along with everything else.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I wasn't even surprised. At this point, are you surprised by anything you are seeing happening right now, in all honesty?
No.
Nah.
Just protect your family. Take your vitamins. Get some elderberry. We got a good elderberry lady down here in North Carolina. She's the best. And same day service most of the time. Get your elderberry, your black seed oil. We haven't had sea moss in a while. We were buying it, and then somebody told us we could make it, and they gave us the bag to make our own. That bag's still sitting in there. I don't trust myself enough to make it. So we haven't done that. One thing we've all learned during this pandemic is, if anything, it brought you close to your family. It renewed that entrepreneurial spirit in you if it was ever there, or it sparked it up if it was there. Like we said, there was so much, the government was giving out so much money that if you really didn't lose your job and was still working, you really could have done some things with that change. Even though your bills kind of went up, like those kids being home, like electricity bills, and now you got to make sure all the food is there. It was an experience, but through it all, we're coming out of it and making the turn. So, how the work family life balance for you? What in the world?
Chase.
I'm sorry. So how do you balance? As you can see, the family and the work life balance. How do you do it? Because obviously I've failed
to see Chase.
She's here. We'll send her your way.
So So one of the crazy things is, like, so I work full time for the federal government. So this was like a whole workshop we had to go through talking about work-life balance, and then how we had to help our employees with work-life balance and things like that. Ultimately,
Mayberry blaming me.
Yeah,
we lost you again.
I'm going to blame it on you. I don't have a choice but to blame it on you.
We all have choices. Where's G?
Where is Professor? He was just here. Matter of fact, where is Matt?
This is the one thing I've learned. Oh, Matt texted me earlier, said he wasn't going to be
Okay,
here.
well, Matt gets a excuse. But
you know one thing I learned about the professor? If the professor is getting in his car, he's not going to be on. Like, you count him out.
He's going to give us 5-10 minutes.
That's it.
And he's going to go off screen a couple times. Then he's going to come on for the last 5 minutes before he decides, I'm done for the rest of the show.
That is the one thing that I've learned about him. Like, that's it. Like, just wrap it up. Like, he's not coming back. And it's over. So Charles is going to be back, but I still got more stuff over here. In the meantime, in between time, Mayberry, I never fail. I don't know. Mayberry, I never showed you this. I didn't show anybody this. I don't even think I want to show you, though.
Why?
I saw this book.
NJ Rich just said he'd come on.
As a backup?
Yeah.
NJ Rich is always A1.
He always ready. You gotta love a brother.
You ain't lying. I saw this book in Walmart. I wasn't looking for it. It just found me, as they would say. Oh, God. I need a new butt.
Mike, really?
Look, it caught me. This was in the children's section. Like, this wasn't like something I went looking for. It was in the children's section. I need a new butt. So I couldn't just take it at face value. I researched. So I researched the author, and the book basically is about little Timmy, or whatever his name is. Notice his butt has a crack in it, and he wants to get it fixed. That was basically the premise of the book. She got a lot of butt books, but I'm just like,
oh my goodness.
Y'all always see, here go Linnea. Oh Lord, see, y'all always. It's not me. Like, I don't look for this stuff. Like, this stuff is fine.
He was mad though. He was big mad when he hunted me down in the store.
I was pissed because, first of all, it's a little boy with his bum out, and I'm trying to walk through Walmart with my family and get some groceries.
And you mad at the little butt you gotta look at?
I'm just saying, I didn't understand what the purpose of that was. Like, we just had the baby conversation and all of that, and the Olympics and all of that. I just don't understand what the premise was. That she didn't. And then I was thinking about BBLs,
I knew you were going to go to that.
I mean, that was the first thing I thought at first when I saw it. I'm like, I know this ain't like a BBL book for children, but then I went.
Automatically, you're going to go to that because you're going to think that it's potentially body shaming. Like, it's saying, I don't appreciate whatever it is that I have on my body.
That's what he was thinking. That wasn't what he was thinking. Number one was a little boy.
Your first thing was thinking somebody bending the little boy over. I'm trying to figure out where you were going.
I didn't like any parts of that book.
I don't want to get in trouble.
I didn't like no parts of that book, and I don't feel like it should have been in Walmart. At all. Like, it shouldn't have been there. It should not have been there. And y'all need to, if YouTube gonna ban us, y'all need to ban Walmart or Dorothy Hutchinson, Don McMillan, whatever her name is. Like, y'all need to write Don McMillan. How about that? I need a new butt. Kick him in his ass.
That's why he need a new butt down.
Anyway, Charles is back. I was just trying to fill in.
I swear, it sounds so funny to hear you keep calling him that.
And I'm really trying.
Stop calling him that.
Hey,
I keep stopping I think about it before I say it.
Hey, Shannon, I think every time he say it, I gotta register in my head like he's talking to me.
Trying to be professional and all, but I don't like it.
So for those of you who don't know, we are family, La Familia.
So right. So just for everybody that's watching everything. So a lot of people call me Chuck. That is my nickname. So you'll hear people say Chuck. That is my name. That's what I go by. That's what people call me. So we can use Chuck to make it easy.
Yes. Mike was about to die.
When I never want, no matter who we invite on this show, whether I know them, whether they family, I approach it all the same. It's like this is, I try to uphold the whole, professionality of it, even though we fail sometimes. It is what it is. So that's why I've been trying to, just Charles.
I know he sent me the professional email. We'd like for you to come on to the CNTG show.
Yeah,
right, so I'm just like,
that's right,
I'm like, yo, why didn't he just text me?
Right, but then if you did that, you'd have been like, I know I would have, like, man, he on that homeboy type, he ain't even about his business.
But Mayberry, I text him and asked him for his email address first. I say, what's your email address?
Email address for you to send him the official. You are a guest on the game show. I'm done. When you could have just probably attached it to the, to the text message, but
I was trying to I don't know. I was just trying to run it all around the same line.
I appreciate it, though. I appreciate it.
I needed that. Thank you, Chuck.
No problem, man.
So we were talking about the work and family life balance. I hear echo.
Yeah.
Might be. You the last.
So, yeah, man. So my opinion on it is that there's really no work-life balance. If you ask me, there's really no work-life balance. It's all about just incorporating it. So even when I'm home, when I'm working on my business, my entrepreneurial business, like I don't mind if my son is around, my daughter's around, anything like that. I just kind of work around it. But when I do need that time and space, then I kind of shut myself out. So even during the pandemic, when I was home every day, it was just like, how are you going to get around that? So there was no getting around it. There was no not telling your kid to, get out the room, but for so much and things like that. Because even if they got out the room, okay, now they're going to bother my wife and she's working too. So it was definitely no work-life balance during the pandemic. But even before the pandemic, it was just not a thing. Like somehow you are still intertwined with work when you're home. You know what I mean? Like, and stuff from home, like it's still things that you have to do or take care of home, like while you're at work. So to me, it's no true balance. It's just more like commingling and finding just a way to navigate around it, as you are shifting from one to the other. Like, look at all the roles that we play. So, like I play a supervisor, I play an employee, then I play a husband, I play a wife, I play a dad, I play a son. So you got all these roles. So it's just about maneuvering around day to day, hour to hour, just trying your best to make it work, man.
Yes. Okay.
Thank you. Because Mike hates when I am head down working. Don't even try it.
I don't hate it.
I feel like it sometimes, but I'm like, yo,
I just
I'm
like
still
bothering people
building
sometimes.
on the ground, so it's.
Oh, you talking about paparazzi?
That's my business. Don't play me out.
I just don't like when paparazzi get into my time. Don't let.
It doesn't. But at the same time, when you're building something from the ground and new, it's going to take a lot of time. And I try to incorporate him in, and he like, I don't want to do that with no jewelry. I'm like.
No, she invited me to be the warehouse guy. She want me to pack the boxes and take.
You
want
to show jewelry? You want to show jewelry? But I'm bringing them in.
You ain't never invite me to go live. I let you go live with me.
You can come live anytime. I like foolishness.
But did you invite him to go live?
I don't have to. He come in when he wants. We live in the same spot. We work in the same area.
Don't count. Don't count. Don't count. Don't
I
count.
did. The
You
other day,
have
I was like, come on, Mr. Glam Shan, and he had a fit.
Yeah, don't call me Glam Shan. And that's a notice to everybody out there. Don't call me Mr. Glam Shan.
I was about to say, what's wrong with Mr. Glam?
I'll pull a book off this bookshelf, and don't
If
call me
you
Mr.
do that,
Glam
I'm done. If you can pull a book off the bookshelf, I'm done. I won't even fuck with you ever again. Promise. You good.
But yes,
That's the only line I draw. Don't call me Mr. Glam Shan.
All right, Mr. Glam. We just Mr. Glam. We take the
Don't
Shan.
call me Mr.
Shan
Glam.
off and just Mr. Glam.
See, all right, y'all doing too much now. See,
But to Chuck's point, it's all becomes one. It all becomes one at some point. You just have to, like I said, find the balance.
And look, and y'all got two entities, right? So, like, make that work together for real. Like, there's no reason why Glam Shan shouldn't be, represented on the CNTG show, and there's no reason why the CNTG show shouldn't be represented on Glam Shan. So it's just like, y'all can definitely work with each other in that aspect. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, and don't take what I'm saying for gold, but Mike, you can have space on, your link tree and stuff like that connects people to, Shannon's site. I don't know if she has a site or something like that, but
I
think she do.
Thought about that because, like, what I want to, I'm here with you, and then I also share, and I actually thought about putting that link there, but I was like, can I do that? Like, only because we have so many guidelines on my end.
Right.
But I'm like, I'm gonna do it anyway.
Yeah. But if that stuff works out, and then Mike, like, even during the show, like, you can have, give Shan a 1 minute, 60-second pitch, you know what I mean? Throw some stuff out there, something. I don't know, you know what I'm saying? My bad.
Anybody think about him?
Look at him.
My bad.
Really? I think about him. I advertise every week when I put on my stuff and sit right here.
And I get you. I wear my bracelet. And,
I know.
Yeah.
Something about how we were away. I'm present. I will be handling business. He's like, you on your phone again? I'm like, my business is internet.
You're on vacation.
But guess what?
Yeah.
The money I made on vacation, I wouldn't have made it if I didn't take that extra time to do the things that I needed to do.
It suck. It sucked, like, when you're on vacation and stuff, and you still gotta handle some type of business, right? Because that just happened to us. So, like, we went away, and I expected to really, really be away from my phone, but I was, I was getting ready to put a property on the market, so I was dealing with a bunch of stuff. So I had to be on the phone. It was important that I was still there on the phone. But one of the things that I've definitely have done is, like, I include my wife of everything. So, like, she knows what's going on with the property. She knows that the property is getting ready to be listed. She knows if I'm having issues with a contractor doing something there. So she knows kind of what's going on. And I've just, and I've been pulling her in more and more and more and more. So she's just as invested in the business as me. So if something's going on, she's like, oh, well, you need to take care of that. You know what I mean? Or you need to get that done because it's for the business. And ultimately, the business, since my plan is to, move away from my 9 to 5, the business is going to be, what's holding the house down. So since she's involved with it to that point, it's like, she sees the value in it. She's vested. So she knows that, all right, it's going to be some times where I'm not getting in the house at a good time. She got to put the kids to sleep. I'm coming in late. She still got dinner for me in the microwave or something, you know what I mean? Because everybody's eating or whatever. So it's just like playing that part and incorporating it and figuring out how you want to work it together. But it's never going to be like, oh, the balance is never going to be there. So, okay, let's stop trying to figure out a balance. And let's say, all right, how are we going to make this all work together and make it work right? So if that business is taking off and we see it's bringing in income, all right, so let me help you push that out. Let me help you move it so that way you can get more income and, maybe get her out the job. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Okay.
But I'm coming out the job first, though, Shannon. So
yeah, I got a little ways to go. I'm behind you, though. I'm behind you. Give them people back their job. That's the goal. Give them people back their job.
And see, that's why 1 2 1 2
3 4 5.
I think you had an echo, Chuck. Don't worry, I'll unmute you when you ready to talk again. But what he said was definitely on point. Like, you know, I think a lot of people approach it like looking for that balance, but realistically, there can never be a balance. And I really never really thought about it like that, because we all think we superheroes at one point in time in life, and it doesn't always work.
So let me say something there, Mike. So I think that's the importance of, I think that's the real importance of like being an entrepreneur, and also, and then building up that wealth and that generational wealth, because we want to get back to things that matter, right? So it's the time that matters. That time, once you got time, that's how you're going to get the balance. So imagine if I don't have to go to work for 8 hours, or let's just say 10 hours after you travel back and forth, right? So your 8-hour work day is really a 10-hour day or a 9-hour day. So imagine if you didn't have to do that. So you have that other time to do the things that you really enjoy and the things that you want to do. Some of that time you still have to dedicate to your business to keep your cash flowing and to keep making your business grow. But you get so much time. You get so much time back. The professor that was on here earlier, he said something about stocks, right? So I invest too. And one of the guys that I follow is Ian Dunlap, and he talks about the perfect day. And his perfect day is kind of what I'm shadowing, what I want. So it was 4 hours. It was 4 hours of work. It was 4 hours of like whatever you wanted to do. 4 hours of family time and something else. So it was like, yo, that's perfect, because it was whatever I want to do could still include my family or whatever. But if it's just relaxation time for me, then that's what it is. You know what I mean? So it's like, man, I was like, oh, that's awesome right there. Like 4 hours in the business, 4 hours in the family, 4 hours for me. But that 4 hours for me and the family could still be intertwined. So because it's whatever I want to do at that time. So that's what I think entrepreneurship is so important, man. And just building that time freedom and getting back the time and space to do what you want to do when you want to do it. Don't have to worry about, can you get your days approved off? Don't have to worry about you can't get off and stuff like that, man. Like, that's not going to get us anywhere.
Yeah. Go.
Well, you are tuned. I'm so sorry. Stop. You are tuned into the Cooley and the Gang Show live every Tuesday night, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. We have our special guest, Charles Chuck Eddington, real estate investor. Mayberry's here. Glam Shan is here.
Can I say something? Why Mayberry over there look like she's 12? Yo,
she look younger every time she come on the show. She's gonna get us arrested one day.
I'm just saying, like, why Mayberry look like she like 20? She like 21. Ew, girl, I'm trying.
She's super quiet though.
Ryan gave her nothing to get riled up about. That's why.
Oh, you want to see me? I can push one of her buttons. Watch this.
I'm tired. That's all it is. I'm just a little tired, but I want to stay present the best way that I can.
Let me go into my little.
Don't start with me, Mike. I'm chilling.
All right, because I got a couple clips in here. I can make.
Oh boy.
Uh-oh.
And I don't like Chuck just came for me. She quiet though. She over there. She ain't saying she quiet as a mouse like that. People that wasn't here a couple minutes ago, they don't know nothing about that. You done told everything.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
I've had a good time tonight. We got about 30 minutes left.
You don't got nothing good and juicy. You slacking on your pep.
I do have a couple.
So I tell you.
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say something. Mike earlier had brought up just how we met and stuff, and it was like kind of funny, and it's whatever. So Mike used to promote parties. I was promoting parties. We met right there, and then we didn't see each other. We didn't see each other for years. But I think I always had his phone number. He had mine, possibly. And then and that was just that. So good dude, like you said, and it was that was what it was. That was our meeting, and then I think we texted a few times. But then all of a sudden, I wound up popping up at a family event, dating his cousin, and I'm like, I know him. And he's like, oh, I already know him. You know what I mean? So it was like, all right, cool. But that was to me, like, that was another importance of like like being good to people and just doing good things, because Mike could have just been like, yo, don't fuck with him. You know what I mean? Like, or whatever. But, you know, I ain't never do anything dirty to people or anything like that. So, you know, that's the long and short story of how me and Mike already knew each other before me and my wife. So, and that's how we are family. So those of you that are watching and things like that, you said we family. Like, we literally are family because I married his cousin.
No.
And the crazy part is I definitely had his number because I don't even remember. Were we together? Whoever I was dating at the time, I don't even remember.
Not whoever.
I literally said, like, I know him. Like, look, I got his number.
It had to be me. It had to be
I said,
me.
look, I got his number.
It had to be me. I was the one you were with when they got together.
That's what I thought. That's why I'm asking you. Like, I'm like,
but not whoever I was with at the time.
Because first of all, I don't know who's been together.
It was his
like,
clear girlfriend.
I don't. No, she don't come out. They've been together for like I don't know. Like it seems like we've all been with our mates like forever at this point. Like I can't even put a year to it, a number to it. Whether it's Chuck and my cousin, like it just seems like Chuck has just always been there. Like period. Like I couldn't tell you what day he dropped in. All I know is Chuck. That's it.
All I know
That's
is Chuck.
all I know.
Okay. All you know is Chuck. All right.
So I got a couple choices for y'all. Deion Sanders got a good video. NJ Rich said something about a clip about a football game when the brother got hit. I didn't see that. I told y'all send me this stuff. Like y'all gotta hit the inbox. Y'all used to send me clips. Nobody sends me anything anymore. I got a good video on
the show.
Huh?
I said I do, but like 5 minutes before the show.
Yeah, you did good this week though. I ain't even gonna lie. When those videos started coming in on Sunday or Monday, whenever you started sending them, it was early Monday. I said, look at Mayberry.
I'm trying to do better instead of doing it 5 minutes before the show. I'm trying.
I got a video I titled False Accusations. I got Polygamy versus Monogamy. I got Deion Sanders on relationships. How about polygamy versus monogamy?
Oh boy.
That always pisses y'all off.
Start some trouble.
That always pisses y'all off in a good way.
Why does it? You were terrible, Mike.
And I've not even watched this video, so I don't even know what she says.
Right, be the main ones pushing for monogamy. And then when a bitch get in a relationship, you don't understand. By asking this man to not fuck nobody else. By asking this man to not call nobody else. By asking this man to not look at another woman for none of his wants and needs as far as male to female. You are then saying, I'ma be whatever you need me to be, nigga. Because I don't want, but y'all don't understand that. Y'all just think that's how it's supposed to be, because that's what the media and the movies and your man and them taught you. That's what y'all think. Y'all like, truth be told, if up front, a bitch told you, these are all the things you're going to have to do, girl, in order to lock this nigga in like you want to, half of y'all wouldn't even want the nigga after that. But you never sit down to actually really consider, what does it take to be fucking Ray Ray's girlfriend? What does it take to be Michael's wife? Like, what type of demons do this nigga really got? What type of sex drive do he really got if he left every other bitch alone and only fucks with me? What type of things will he want out of me?
Mm-hmm. That's her name? Go follow her.
Y'all be one a nigga that's rich and a freak and got a great personality, but is low key, don't talk to nobody, but is a people person, but is like, y'all want all this shit. And girl, if you actually had to entertain that nigga non-stop by yourself, bitch, you be a circus monkey. The way you would have to suck dick on Tuesday, swing from the ceiling fan on Thursday, be a fucking stripper on Friday, because the nigga like pole dancing on the weekends. Like, the way you'd have to cook on Sunday, turn around on Monday, and like y'all don't even know the half. And y'all be so quick to want a nigga to just lock in on you. Do you even have enough going on for you to be a person everything?
Mm-hmm. Shit, I don't. Not the way she just described everything. I don't. Sorry, boo.
So do we? So I'll take from that. Do we take the time to realize what people's wants or needs are before we fully decide to commit?
No,
one of those things you start to figure out.
Because people don't have those type of conversations. We talk about this all the time. And Shannon brought up a good point when Rhea was on here. When you got to communicate your needs, your wants, and your desires, but people are scared to sometimes put that up front because they don't want to scare you away. If somebody really is into it, they want to swing from the chandelier and fall on it. You might not be into that. You know, like seriously. So, I mean, people don't really want to have that conversation because it requires you to, you know, expose yourself in a capacity that it's too new. So do I want this person to know what my freak level is early up front? Yes or no? So people will either volunteer that information depending on how comfortable they are, or you have to approach the conversation and find out what the person needs and wants are, because you change in each relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes you're going to compromise who you are to be with the person that you're with. You're willing to explore or maybe open up or maybe reel some things in. But then guess what? You get into another situation. They might be for all of the freaky shit you for, but you got to have a conversation. You just don't know. They might be for the pole in the bedroom. They might be for let's bring another person in and, you know, tickle your fancy. You don't know until you had a conversation. I'm just saying.
I believe you can meet somebody today and they tell you, no, I don't like that. But I do believe you can get them to a midpoint.
It depends on the person.
I don't care who it is. I believe anybody can be turned.
I don't think anybody can be turned. I think you can have
the right
conversation might change.
The right person can turn the
top night, like, you know, never know. You pop collars and dropping dollars, and you never know.
Popping collars and dropping dollars.
Dropping dollars. We'll talk.
Yeah. I think it depends on the person, Mike. I think it depends on the person.
Depends on the person.
Because Ray, I could be like, okay, but JoJo, I'm like, come on, let's swing from.
No,
but you know what? That goes along with Mayberry sent me a good video too that I didn't get to download yet, where the lady was talking about submissive women, and she was saying how guys approach women expecting them to be automatically submissive when in reality. Now help me out, Mayberry. You sent me this video, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but in reality, the woman becomes submissive
to every man.
Yeah, it's based upon the man dealing with. The man brings the submissiveness out of the woman.
I'm amen. Okay, it takes a certain type of man. I'm trying to tell y'all some real shit right here about myself.
There you go. You said she won't talk. We got her.
Shut up. A real type of dude.
I hope the fellas listening.
Now I'm gonna be quiet. It takes the right type of dude, especially a woman that's probably independent, strong-willed, kind of can do all on her own, and a man is like almost like an accent type of thing. It takes a certain type of man to be able to not only want to use the word tame it, but be able to understand it, nurture that, and love that in a way that he can calm that down, where she's able to relinquish that over to that man where he's, yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. So I ain't saying nothing else.
I think so. So maybe I think with that, I think that the female like still has to. She has to be willing to say, I'm gonna let this down, because a lot of times like they're not willing, like they want to stay in that position of power or whatever it may be, and don't want to let it down. So it's not about the dude has to tame it. Like I really shouldn't have to tame it. Like if I bring to the table, who I am, what I got, and you on board with it, and we doing this together, you know what I'm saying? Like our roles, and this is my opinion, like our roles, like you gonna make sure I feel like that man at all times. You gonna hold me up like that man at all times. Like you just want to relinquish it. It's not that I'm gonna do anything to tame you to make you relinquish it. Like you gonna say, all right, that's the man. You gonna do the man role.
The problem is a lot of people feel like everything is supposed to be everything in a relationship. Mm-hmm. If every relationship is supposed to be cookie cutter, walking through the grass, skipping, holding hands and balloons, then you would have married every female you came in contact with, or every guy I came in contact with. I'm just saying, if that's the case. So it's what fits and what works. So the right man and the right woman, when they come together, it just flows. It's not that woman can do it because the man makes her feel a certain way where she can. And the man is okay with this because she makes him feel a certain type of way. It's a balance. The problem is people sit in relationships that aren't really for them. And then they make those interpretations by saying, hey, well, she's not giving me this because that's not really the woman for you, because the woman for you is going to be designed in a specific way. Not saying that there's not going to be some compromise or some give and take, but if you are constantly at a battle every 5 seconds with the person, you're trying to make something fit that it just doesn't fit. Like the square ain't going to go into the circle. It's just not going to happen. That's just how I look at it.
And to kind of piggyback off of what Chuck was saying, like in the case of course with the women, she has to be willing to release that. It was funny because I'm in this crazy group, I don't know, on Facebook, but one of the girls came and her question was, she was like, you know, she met this guy, she has a child, and when she met the child, this dude, like the child is older, so of course it ain't the dad, but he came into the light, immediately stepped in as playing daddy role, but not like I'm the daddy, but just kind of building that relationship with her child. You know, he's a good man, and they went out to dinner, and you know, he took care of everything, but then she tipped the waiter or waitress, and she's like, you know, in my mind, I'm thinking, I'm just doing my part. You took care of everything. But he came to her and was like, you offended me by that. Like, I'm your man. I'm supposed to take care of you and nurture you. Like, I got all of that. And it, like, for her, it blew her mind because she's not fully ready to release it all. She's still trying to, and that's what a lot of women were saying. Like, I was there. She was like, you know, they were there before, but they had to realize the type of man that they had and the fact that this is just who he is. He loves me. So let me fall back and let him lead the way that he's leading, because he's leading how he's supposed to. But when you're used to doing everything for yourself, it takes time for women like that to be able to just release and be willing to release that hold, because you don't know nothing else but to be able to go and do on your own.
But,
I'm sorry.
But also to
Shannon, because I must not be shit, because
Shannon,
every time we go out to eat, I'd be like, Shannon, you got some cash on you? I hate having to wait for that tip to come out of my credit.
That's right.
Shannon, you got cash. You got some cash on you. Tip that lady right there, please. Thank you.
The funny thing is everybody's kind of like saying the same thing. It's just sometimes it's the time that it takes, because sometimes when it's just there, it's there, but you'll be willing to compromise and give and take in the right type of situation. That nook might not be the one that you need to do it for. So you can't sit up in here and be submissive to every man. I mean, or vice versa. You're going to give yourself to the right person. That's all I'm saying. At the end of the day, you're willing to go the extra mile for the person that you really want to compromise for. You're not going to do it for just any and everybody. You're not going to move the same in every relationship.
Very true. Very true.
That's all.
So is monogamy a myth?
People be cheating. I'm just leaving it alone.
They do.
I was waiting for more.
Do.
That's
they
it.
Do.
Nah, people be cheating and they just leave it there. You know, because people be acting like they don't cheat and they cheat. And I mean, my whole thing is if you're in a relationship, if you want to date. You can do whatever you want, but when you're dating and to make the decision to be exclusive, you're taking it to a next level of commitment. When you're engaged, that's a next level of commitment. You know, you're married, it's a next level of commitment. If that's a commitment that you're just not willing to be a part of, then stay single and date. But the problem is people want to have that in-house and they still want to go out and stab and poke or, you know, get their meat washed by the streets.
I learned that word in my group, sneaky link.
Yeah, people still out here getting their meat washed and it ain't by their house, their in-house.
Okay.
Well, I tell you what, Mayberry, if those people need to rent a property or buy one from me.
Plug. Where to plug it in?
You got them covered.
Look. I can't stand you for the plug.
He said it's a business deal. It's a business deal.
I just sold one. I should have a new one coming up in November, December. So I just sold a beautiful one.
That's a perfect time too. That's a perfect time. Somebody that already messed up their summer relationship. They need somewhere to chill out for the winter. It's gonna be cold.
Sneaky link is still booty call.
Or you need to put your side piece up in a place. You know, there you go. Holla at Chuck. You know,
you ain't lying. Marriage is definitely
Marriage
not for
definitely ain't for suckers.
Sneaky link is
I've been trying to figure out and look at the comments and figure out exactly what it meant, but nobody will elaborate. So I ain't gonna be the one to ask what that means. I'm gonna keep reading the comments.
You know you can Google anything, and the Urban Dictionary probably already got it in there.
True that.
Yeah, right.
You are tuned into the Coolie and the Gang show live every Tuesday night, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I gotta say that because y'all know we international. I ain't even gonna lie, we international. Dr. Will was on here. He brought the West Coast flavor last week before last. And we here today with our special guest, Charles Eddington, real estate investor, family man, stand-up guy, because that's all we allow on this show. Stand up. We check resumes. We check your Equifax over here.
Let me go look back at our history right now.
I'm glad Shannon.
Let's start with our panel first of all. Let's start with our panel first of all.
There might be a couple of sprinkles of suspects that's in there.
That's true. Okay. We may have had one or two that slid by. Not to say that they. Yeah.
When we got footage that we got to take off and unplug, I'm gonna just leave it there.
Love that basement.
That was a good show, though.
It was an amazing show. I will never forget it.
So last week, I know I got it. It's on my hard drive. I'll let you check it out. It's on my hard drive. So last week, y'all know we weren't here. We played a replay. Hope y'all got to see it and enjoy it. I chopped up some good interviews. I did the interview with D-Lo, which was from like 2017. D-Lo, the comedian. I did the Desi interview, and I did Louis Stansel. So that was all chopped up, and it was kind of like a best of. So even when we're not here, we will be here. So you can, those of you that are just kind of getting into Coolie and the Gang and you missed those basement. Am I frozen?
Yep.
I froze on the screen.
Now you are.
Ew.
You TikToking over it.
Yeah. My audio's still coming in, right?
Yes, but you was TikToking.
Yeah. So damn, lost my train of thought.
Well,
so even when we're not here, we're here. So you know, those of you that are just coming, you know, learning about Coolie and the Gang, we appreciate you. We hope you stick around and keep joining us. And then you'll also be able to see what those basement days were like, because those days
started
back
in the basement. Now we're here.
Yeah, those days back in the basement were definitely fun. Especially, I think it took away that element of COVID. Like we were all together. Like it was us, you know, in our own space, you know, doing what we wanted to do. So yeah, so keep coming back. It works. I got that from my uncle in the NA. Keep coming back. It works. Coolie and the Gang is for you. We are for all. So let's get back into it. So if one thing we all want people always to take away from the show is to learn something. Even when Ike comes on and does his finance, Chuck has been on and definitely dropped some jewels on us as far as like if you've been teetering with the idea of real estate investment or any other aspect, because NJ Rich was trying to figure out, you know, well, what other avenues, if I don't want to take the real estate risk, what can I do to partner up with somebody that, you know, they may want to do the real estate in? And I say, hey, well, I'll come in and let me start up something to clean out your properties or maintain or things like that. So from what you're telling us, Chuck, you know, there are all sorts of avenues you can go into and still somewhat be in the field.
Yes, sir.
Definitely.
There was you was saying earlier you was going to ask, but probably forgot your company's name.
Oh, where'd the name come from?
Oh, so like I said, so I really started taking it serious with birth of Charlie, my son, my son. So C-Ray, so my name is Charles Ray Eddington, and his name is Charles Ray Eddington, and he's the third. So there you go with the C-Ray 3 LLC. So I really got serious and started this because of him, and then and that was it. And then after him, I was like, everybody got to get a property. So I got a property for all the kids now.
Cool.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Positive people doing positive things and just dropping seeds of knowledge and jewels. Like that's what we want. We want people to take something away from, you know, coming in here. Like we like to joke. I say it all the time. We like to joke and have fun and get a little wretched. and I play my videos and show my things I find in the world. But at the end of the day, you're going to walk away smiling with some sort of knowledge when you leave the show, and hopefully feeling better than you did when you first started watching. Because I know I do. I enjoy kicking it with y'all, even though I gotta get like this. I gotta get a team, like, because right now we looking bad in the streets. G is missing in action. The professor, we know he was in the car, he wasn't coming back. Mac, he put his PTO in. Mayberry's here. Like, Shannon was goofing off in the van earlier. Now, then in the kitchen. Now she's like,
PTO next week.
Really?
What?
I'm putting in PTO next week and the week after next.
Me too.
You can't get 2 weeks.
I ain't got time for this shit. It's like
You can't get 2 weeks.
Maybe.
Pulled up a machine gun.
Fuck this show like we say fuck them kids.
Fuck this show. Ain't nobody got to take up playing Michael play.
We know.
You know it's all love. It's just a little joke. I'm gonna be here next week. I just like messing with you sometimes.
We will be having Dr. Will come back because I definitely want to do my show on blended
Still
families.
need to be on the couch.
I want to do a show on blended families. Like that's our next thing with Dr. Will, blended families.
They could be
That's
rough.
gonna be our show.
They could be rough.
Oh boy.
Hell yeah, especially you combine Freddie, Chucky, and Jason.
Hey. You called my kids that the other day, so I already know you're talking about.
But they his kids too.
Exactly.
Look, but I tell them, look, y'all can pick who's who. I don't even care.
Wow.
Y'all can pick who's who.
Mike.
Look, we drove to Orlando, and we drove home.
The drive was cool. It was just in the room.
Well, I'm not gonna say nothing. Never mind. That drive ain't that far.
Yeah, it is when you got to take 15 million pee break.
I've done longer than that.
Like an old lady. Chase pees like a senior citizen. Like she could just be thinking about juice and be like, I gotta pee. Like it don't take much.
You're supposed to get her to Travel James. You better get her a Travel Jane.
She about to wear a pamper.
Diaper, I was gonna say the same thing.
You better get the Travel Jane where she could just go right in there, and then it has the stuff in there that's like for a diaper, and then she can go to the bathroom. You don't gotta worry about that.
NJ Rich guy, man. NJ Rich, you about to get a permanent spot because these other coworkers.
What you trying to come for my seat?
No, I can't.
Man, hit me up from time. Hit me up from time to time to jump on. I appreciate it being on tonight, man. I really enjoyed it. So
we
just
appreciate
hit me up.
Like like I said, when we have some good stuff on, I try to base the panel based upon who I know will have some good things to say. Or even if you just want to goof off, you may just come across the show one day and say, I got something to say. You already know how to get in with the link. It don't take much. It happens. Like I had, like Juan does it.
Yes.
NJ Richards just popped up a couple times because he wanted to say something. Like, trust me, people that are LinkedIn, you're LinkedIn for life.
I'm gonna start linking in from right here.
You know she would.
Wait a minute. Mayberry can call in from the audience, but I can't.
Yeah, you gotta cut that shit out too, because
I don't know what you're talking about. At least I'll be on PTO. I'll be on PTO to get our support.
Mayberry causing the challenges from her seat.
and always fools us. AB Lexington, she's coming back on. Her album came out. I've been listening to it. She got another track. I'm gonna play one at the end of the song tonight called Undercover. Yeah, I do need a good bench. I need a 6-man. So AB Lexington, recording artist, songwriter, she'll be back on. We're working out some things. Once that album dropped, we got to figure some things out. Chuck already said he'll come back on whenever. So we're gonna have a good lineup. We're gonna end the summer real good. And we're gonna keep doing what we're doing. Next week is just us.
Okay.
Yeah, there's nobody on next week. Not yet. Anything's liable to change at this point.
Cool.
So next week is just us. Whoever shows up, because at this point I don't know which one of y'all are not
It'll
coming.
be me and you. I go over there and Dinah will be me and you.
Mayberry don't want to do it, but I want to do an episode where we do something for the kids. Like, all right, fine.
Thank you. They got Sesame Street. We're not doing this shit no more.
This is an adult show.
Right. I gotta sit here.
It's good.
I gotta tiptoe. I gotta speak polite. I gotta worry about little
kids show going. What the hell would you talk about?
We would have to figure what do young people, what's on the mind of the
bruh.
Yeah, if I hear bruh one more.
Bruh. Whoa, dance moves. What we doing? Oh, I ain't got time for that shit. No, I don't want to do it.
Here goes my little guy.
Say
hi.
Hey, Charlie. I gotta be.
Charlie always got that. He's so serious about the
Go
world.
help Ellie down. Now Ellie upstairs screaming. She want to come down now.
Well, we're gonna give out. Who wants to go first? Final thoughts.
I ain't got
Glam
none.
Shan, I give you.
I ain't got none. Welcome. Well, thank you for showing up, everybody who showed up. Thank you. Y'all already know where to find me tomorrow. I ain't gotta keep telling y'all.
Wednesday
Y'all ain't
night.
showed up yet. Because I've been watching. Back to school next week. Oh, for y'all and
Yeah, we started
what
school
at,
already.
Maryland?
Mhm.
Our kids in school already.
Chuck, final thoughts.
That's how I feel when they pick me.
No, man. Final thoughts. Where Ellie at? Come here, El. So, final thoughts, man. What I would tell people is to change your mindset. You know, think positive. Have a positive mindset. Come here, boo. Have a positive mindset. Stay motivated. That's it. Keep on pushing. Don't give up. But it's all in your mindset. So think positive, and you will be there. So mindset, and as y'all hear me say, flip my retirement now. We all can do it.
Well, there you have it.
Mayberry.
Hood Olympics. Do the crate challenge. Yay. That's all I got. I don't got nothing else. I'm not going to do it, but I'm entertained by all the people that want to participate in the Hood Olympics. So yeah, keep doing the crate challenge. Shout out to the one who did it in the hills.
But
And
the
that's
milk
it. That's all
Like,
I
are y'all going to the local corner store?
Milk crates is easy. You go behind the market. They
Go
just
behind the market and get them crates.
Oh, I don't be behind the market, so
I got 2 milk crates in the closet right now.
You had them for 20,000 years though. These
If you have them for records that you would like DJ in or anything, or you just had
That's how I carry around the show equipment.
hood shit.
I did a post the other day like, what's the hood? What's the hood?
Hood baby.
The hood answer for what this is, and yeah, we had all types of. The what it took me out was the bed frame. People was using milk crates as bed frames.
Hood.
Like it's a box spring? Putting a mattress on it?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I'm
You ain't-
glad
you
I don't know
ain't
no
grow
hood
up.
niggas
You ain't
like
grow up.
that.
You ain't grow up.
No, I did not. I
No,
did
no.
not. Thank you, Jesus.
You
Father.
was-
No,
you
just
was
you
in
just put that thing on the floor.
You was in suburbia. You ain't grow up.
I'll take it. Yup.
Put that
Um,
on the floor. You don't need no crates.
So we'll be back next Tuesday, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And you know what I always say, NJ Rich beat me to it, but huh?
No, they
Oh, you're frozen.
Don't worry, we about to cut them off anyway. Let the obstacles before you provoke the power within. Do something special for somebody this week. It don't got to be nothing big. Put $5 on somebody's gas that's in line behind you. Put the tip on the table or something. Oh Lord, that didn't even sound right.
Put the tip on the
All right.
table.
I think we should just go ahead and leave now.
Not the tip. Not the tip.
I apologize.
No, you don't.
I'm so sorry for that, y'all. But
Who's that?
AB Lexington,
Boy, why you so undercover?
undercover.
Even the I couldn't find a clue.
Hey, Rachel.
Hey, Rachel. Look, Rachel.
Oh, look, all Rachel on there.
That's for you, Rachel. Hey, Winston.
Hey, Jude.
Soon as I figure you out,
Make sure y'all go get that AB Lexington. It's out now. The album is 6803. It's available on all streaming platforms.